The best identity theft protection all comes down to good monitoring and excellent threat resolution. Then you just have to find the right balance of a comprehensive package and a reasonable price. I've used 7 identity theft protection companies, and right now Aura is the best one. They're absolutely crushing it. But whichever one you choose, check out my links in the video description here. Not only to save some coin, but also to see my latest recommendations, because I can't really come back and change this video once it's been published. Such is life as a YouTube sleuth. I always imagined identity theft protection as some kind of snake oil. You know, you don't really need it and they just keep pulling money from you month after month. But now I see it's kind of a no-brainer if you want to level up your security online, or if you've already been burned, then I guess to avoid being burned again. You can even protect your parents, your in-laws, and your kids, and yes, kids are sadly targeted by identity thieves. They're kind of like a blank slate. And while dark web monitoring is important, there's a bit more to the story than that. It's difficult to compare these identity theft protection companies without actually using them, because they tend to have all these different tiers, and a lot of the benefits are locked up within that tiered structure. With Aura and also with Complete ID, it's simple. You get all the features on every plan, and what you pay just varies depending on how many people you're covering. But with the others, it gets complicated real fast. But everybody calm down, I got you, and I'll break it down for you here in this video. Like snowflakes, identity theft protection companies are not created equal. One quick example is with Norton's LifeLock. Their customer support is just terrible. And when you're calling up an identity theft protection company, a lot of times you're already having a rough day. And trust me, when that day comes, you want to be working with a company that has your back. Every time I call LifeLock, it's like pulling teeth, and at the end of the call, I'm just wishing I had my time back. I'm sure LifeLock agents are nice enough people, but their basic support team is not based in the US, they're reading off scripts, and they really don't understand you as a customer. With all the other companies, I've had really great experiences with their support team. LifeLock's a standout in that regard. And really, their poor customer support is just the tip of the iceberg. So how these identity theft protection solutions work is basically you input your personal information, things like your name, your phone number, your email addresses, on and on and on. And basically they monitor the dark web. When they find your personal information just waiting to be exploited by identity thieves, they'll send you an alert. It tells you what they found, where they found it, and usually they'll provide you some suggestions to rectify the situation. Now, there's 3 things you want to watch out for here. The first thing is that some of these identity theft protection solutions are a little restrictive with the amount of information they allow you to monitor. For instance, LifeLock only allows you to monitor 5 email addresses and Complete ID only allows you to monitor 4, and that's really not enough for me. So if there's something in particular you're looking to monitor, make sure that the identity theft protection you choose allows you to do so. Aura is pretty good in that regard. The second thing you want to watch out for is you want to make sure that they're doing additional monitoring. For example, they should be monitoring the public web and proactively submitting opt-out requests with data brokers on your behalf. This helps knock down robocalls, junk mail, those kinds of things. Aura and Identity Guard both do this. Next, they should monitor your credit records across all 3 bureaus. More on that in just a minute. And they should be monitoring your utility records as well. That way, if someone opens a credit card in your name, or if they try to open an account with an electric company in your name, you'll get an alert, and you can get to the bottom of it real fast. And last, they should be monitoring public records, so if someone tries to add their name to your home deed, or if they put your name down during an arrest, you'll get an alert for that as well. I know, that sounds crazy, but it happens. And the third thing you want to watch out for is whether or not the monitoring they offer is actually any good. Does it find stuff out there, or do they just say that it does? Lucky for me, across all 7 companies, I've only dealt with dark web alerts so far. Typically, these are login credentials from sites like Adobe, MySpace, and Dropbox, although one of my Gmail accounts got leaked. That was no fun. I'll show you what the different companies turn up for me on the dark web in just a bit here. But a word of caution, I haven't seen any identity theft protection solution with bulletproof dark web monitoring. Even the ones that turn up the most hits aren't necessarily finding everything that all the others are showing. The dark web is huge, about the size of the clear web depending on the numbers you use. I won't get into the technicalities here. It's nearly impossible to crawl through it all definitively and offer that service at a price that's approachable to consumers like you and I. But what you do see with these identity theft protection solutions is examples of poor monitoring juxtaposed with examples of good monitoring. I'm excited to show you that. But before I do, I want to circle back to credit monitoring like I promised. I think it's important to have credit monitoring, and it should be across all 3 bureaus. You should also be getting monthly Vantage scores and annual credit reports from all 3 bureaus, and all of that should be pulled right into your dashboard. And then the cherry on top is that they should offer a credit lock so that you can prevent unwanted inquiries with the click of a button, rather than heading over to the bureaus directly and issuing a freeze. Now, the identity theft protection companies are all over the board with this, and I find it a bit frustrating. The only companies that offer all of this standard are Aura and Complete ID. With the others, it's all locked in their tiered structure, so if you want it, you're paying more, and in some cases, it's a lot more. And of course, with Complete ID, you have to be a Costco member, so that's something to consider as well. And just 2 quick bullet points before I get to dark web monitoring. I don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm sure you want to get back to scrolling through Instagram. Just kidding, everyone knows us old folks are still on Facebook. Almost all these companies offer transaction monitoring, so you can link credit cards or bank accounts and get alerts if any charges are over a specified threshold. The only one that doesn't is Identity IQ, and I found that a little weird. And a lot of these companies are going to offer other bells and whistles like a VPN, a password manager, antivirus. Aura definitely does. Although I think you can get better solutions for those elsewhere, but if you don't have them already, these companies will get you started. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. Or at least I've been waiting for it, and if I'm the only one here, then yeah, no, I guess we have all been waiting for it. Is there someone in the back row? I need my glasses. Anyway, I track the same personal information in all 7 of these identity theft protection solutions. In cases where the companies don't allow me to monitor all my email addresses, that is LifeLock and Complete ID, I make sure to leave out the email addresses that don't turn up hits across all the other platforms. So what does bad monitoring look like? Well, Identity IQ so far has turned up 0 dark web hits. They claim to be a 24-hour automated identity monitoring service, although I signed up over a month ago and they've yet to turn up any dark web hits. And what does good monitoring look like? Well, Identity Force turns up the most dark web hits for me. With them, I get a total of 20 dark web alerts and 10 unique dark web alerts. The remaining 10 alerts are from compilations, where basically someone puts a huge master file on the dark web containing all the login credentials they could scrape up. Tied for a close second are Aura and Identity Guard. They're using the same technology, so they turn up the same results. Aura and Identity Guard turn up 18 total dark web hits, 9 of which are unique. And I'd also say Complete ID's monitoring is pretty good. They turn up a total of 14 dark web hits, and 8 of those are unique. Then we have ID Shield. They could be good, but my biggest beef with them is I can't go back and see my past alerts. I know I've had at least 17 dark web hits with them, but I can't say definitively how many, and I can't say how many were unique. ID Shield has a bit of a clunky interface in general. It's broken up into these different portals, and you keep having to sign in over and over again. I think it could be good, but the interface needs some work. And last, but thanks to Identity IQ not least, we have Norton's LifeLock. LifeLock turns up a total of only 8 dark web alerts, although they are all unique. What bothers me is that they completely miss hits associated with one of my email addresses that all the other services found. So my recommendation is to avoid Identity IQ and to avoid LifeLock. Regardless of other shortcomings, to me their monitoring is just insufficient. I can't really vouch for ID Shield either in this regard, and Complete ID is kind of borderline. But really Aura, Identity Guard, and Identity Force find the most, and as I mentioned earlier, it's not perfect crossover. Aura and Identity Guard are finding things that Identity Force does not, and vice versa. That's why it's also important to consider threat resolution. No matter which company you choose, you need a restoration team that really has your back. Aura has what they call a white glove fraud resolution team to handhold you through the process and ease the pain as much as possible in the event that you're a victim of identity theft. And if my experiences with their support team are any indication, they're just really thorough and really understanding of your situation. And don't just take it from me, you can check out their reviews on Trustpilot. They have a lot of really happy customers. And across all of these companies, a minimum of $1 million in identity theft insurance is standard. With Aura, you get $1 million per adult, which is up to $2 million on their couple plan and up to $5 million on their family plan. The only other company that offers more than $1 million in identity theft insurance is LifeLock, and again, that's tied up in their tiered structure. And with LifeLock, you're dealing with a lackluster support team, subpar monitoring, all the kind of things you'd expect from an outdated industry incumbent. So all things considered, to me, Aura really is the most comprehensive and robust identity theft protection out there. Most of the others have some good things about them, but especially when you start looking at price, Aura really is the best value by far. You can get the individual plan right now for just $12 per month, or the family plan for $37 per month, which offers full accounts for 5 adults and sub-accounts for unlimited children. And that's before you apply my discounts, which can really solidify this decision as a no-brainer. But look, even if you don't choose Aura, I hope this gives you a better idea of what you should be looking for in identity theft protection, and also what you should avoid. And remember to check out my links in the video description here for my latest deals and recommendations. I'll always keep that up to date. If you want to learn more about Aura, I have an in-depth review right here on this channel. And soon there should be tons of reviews and comparisons across all the different brands. Stay tuned for that.